the way that I see it, as far as the trading aspect of it, I mean, mine's is just a little small part of something really big, like everybody has their own edge. So, it's one of those things. Um, I start shared chat. Okay. Yeah, it's one of those things where I kind of I figured out, what, you know, hold on, give me 1 second. Jeez, I'm trying to figure out how I can. All right, can you say something real quick? Uh-oh, hold on. I did something. Give me 1 second, brother. I'm trying to. All right, can you hear me now? Okay.
realize, hey, hold on, I need to dial back. We have a different market. Oh wow, we're in a correction now. Technically, I don't care what anybody says, and you're hearing a lot of noise right now on FinTwit and all these social media platforms about no one wants to talk about how we're in a bear market. But if you look at the text, some of them are down like a huge percentage on the year, technically putting us in bear market territory. So the other thing is we're starting to see, you know, violent sells on every pop, and I'll expand a lot more into that soon. But I'll put a pause there. I don't want to steal the whole show for you. Hmm. Let me ask you this: have you noticed that we went from swings to just money made in quick 6 minute trades? You've seen that too, right? Just want to make sure you're seeing that over there on your on the TA side. It's really interesting, and a lot of the people that would just go in and buy calls, or just go and open up MNQ or NQ and leave it overnight, are just getting blasted. You know, um, yeah, well, we're definitely at the helm of the market makers right now. And I mean that. I take that very seriously. Uh, go look at Millennium and Citadel, right? Um, you mentioned February, right? Started then. Guess what? You're not the only one who lost. I'm not saying you lost money, but saw the tune of the music change. And I don't have all my stuff right now. I can't really share too much, but I had probably shared on. I think I shared some of it on some of those new accounts, like when I started the Interceptor News now. This last Friday at Interceptor News on TikTok, which I have to be extremely careful because I don't trust TikTok and their data selling and all that. But uh, it is public. Millennium came out in the filing. They Millennium lost $900 million from February to March, to now. Yeah, this month. Um, Citadel, same boat, because they were just like JP Morgan and everybody else opening up the collar trades. So they'll have they'll have a position that's hedged, and some people that are into spreads and stuff like that will really understand this. But they'll have like a bunch of calls, and then they'll have a bunch of puts, and then they'll have position in between, and they're taking insurance both ways. And being Citadel and Millennium, a lot of them, being market makers, they also have to sell the options, right? So they're selling out both sides, calls and puts, and things like that. There's a lot to them, and but on and a lot of people don't understand this, but like there's actually two parts of Citadel, right? So you have the market maker part, and then you actually have the capital. Citadel Securities um, part. So one is the actual hedge fund, and the other one's a market maker that's dealing the cash. And but on the books from Ken Griffin's filings, for the fund itself, the fund has lost a considerable amount of money, and Millennium, being up there too, has lost it as well. And it's because they can't keep track of all the volatility, especially with tariffs and things like that happening. Um, what's scary to me is I actually was on a call with Don Johnson and Samantha LeDuc over there. She owns LeDuc Trading, but also she has a financial research firm, and of course she's working with Macro Edge, um, and they're a great research firm. They predicted this coming since December, and I shared some of that with a few other people as well that we know. Uh, and also, that's when I was doing work with Kristen Shaughnessy. I can't pronounce her name. It's like an Irish reporter. But she was a correspondent, working with Kevin Green. But when, you're ex-military and I'm ex-military, and we're aware of, companies like Palantir and stuff, and price, their price to earnings ratio, it's insane. And the Ukraine Russia war had a lot to do with some of their contracts and their revenue. Um, so that's just one indicator. Being a high P&E stock like that, even when the share price is at 70, it's still the P&E is at like 300 or some stupid number. And you know, we were kind of going into that, and she started working and publishing some of that stuff for us, and we were able to identify, through hours and hours of research on just going through SEC.gov and knowing some of the contracts they had with DoD, that hey, their revenue is going to be impacted. It's going to drop from 120. Let's start shorting the hell out of this. I don't know if you remember those shorts we were taking. They were pretty nasty. They were awesome. Um, and sure enough, it went to you're buying like 90 puts, and they pay out from 120. It was huge, up like 1,000%, 200%. But that's just a bigger picture in something. And I blame some of these retail guys on social media too, getting people all riled up in it, because the Amit I think it's Amit or Amit is investing, that guy. Um, well, he got on there with Alex Karp. He was at the Palantir Investor Conference and everything, and it was cringeworthy. Look, I'm not completely blaming Palantir, okay, but you know, come on. It was like I was watching some kid try to butter up a company. Like they didn't have anything. There was no, it was just a bunch of sweet sugary words, and there really wasn't anything that held its ground in valuations or anything. And it kind of turned into like, all right, wow, you got these new influencers that are just kind of turning this stuff into like a multi-level marketing, and then even Alex Karp wasn't even there for him, like he didn't even show up and talk. Um, and then of course, this kid is going on and pumping up Robinhood markets. He's hanging out with Vlad, um, I forget his last name, the CEO of Robinhood. And everybody's getting riled up, and even one of the ladies I work with, she has millions. Uh, I was like, look, we're selling the positions um, because of some headwinds that are coming. And she's like, no, I don't believe it, because I'm buying into the little guy, talking about it's going to 140, screw these bears. And then later she was like, okay, I see what you're talking about. And it's nothing against anybody. It's just so much noise that's going on when we were on a market that was in monetary policy. We had an administration that was printing all this money. If you look at Janet Yellen and the deficit, I mean, it's insane. And you have to listen to what Treasury Besant was saying. And what he said was, hey, we need to deflate. The money's going to go away from Wall Street and to Main Street. Um, the deficit's at 7 trillion. A lot of people don't want to hear this, but they're going to have to get the dollar down. They're going to have to bring it down, because if it stays that high and hot and toasty, it's going to it, it's going to cause some major tailwinds, especially for shipping, manufacturers, anybody in the U.S. And you know, and the market tells you that. I mean, look how concentrated it is. It's just everybody piled into tech, which Nvidia is amazing, in its revenue, but they have to deflate because the money printer went on for a long time. All that money was injected into the markets. That there was always, even for the longest time, it seemed like just to just the last administration we had was all about intervention. And we're at the point where we're going to have to deflate that bubble, and you know, in order to have a healthier economy, and in order for Besant to get his job done on the 7 trillion deficit, and they've clearly said it, you have to listen to what monetary policy is, and they're going to have to get, especially the dollar down. Additionally to that, tariffs. It's coming on the 2nd of April. We've heard about it. It's been warned. The tariffs have caused absolute terror to the market. But if you look at, we're in that deglobalization stage, but a lot of people don't realize, and this is one thing I've been having to pay attention to, and this is where I was able to kind of nail it with a few other people on how the market was going to sell, because you're a futures guy, and I think you would love to see this. If you go at some point, especially if you looked at when the Japanese, the Bank of Japan, right? So a lot of people forget that BOJ holds the most U.S. bonds. They're the largest international holder. And if you go look, they've been selling from December until a couple of weeks ago, and I think I even shared that. You can just see where they're selling. And they're also, we were at one point almost at 40 or 50%. Well, I'd say about 40 of international holders that were in U.S. equities, that stocks, right? Now it's peeled all the way down. Last week it was at 25 to 20%. As of today, it's at 17%. And on top of that, you have Japan. The 3-year yield hit the highest in history. It was, don't let me discombobulate myself. I'll just put it this way. It was at 3%, Japanese yields. It's just the highest in history. And if you go look at the Nikkei 225 and then the NDX or NASDAQ, and it also applies to the Qs or anything else, but obviously NDX being NASDAQ directly, go look at the 225 and you would see how it would go up and the NASDAQ would go down on the futures, like clockwork, the correlation. And you could see the action of how they were selling US equities. And it's not just Japan. A lot of people don't realize that Hong Kong is kind of like the intermediate between China and many other places, and they were buying through Japanese and many other brokers. Um, they're taking exposure to U.S. equities. Don't get me started on Singapore and how China was doing all that dirty work. Like the whole DeepSeek thing. That was buying chips that way. But there's a lot of exposure. So a lot of these guys, they're selling, and they're the carry trade is extremely important. Even in the euro sector, if you look at Germany and their bonds, they had a massive pop. Just last night, China injected like billions of yen, and we're seeing a position where a lot of these yields are going up. But that's what this administration wants, is to deflate. Because it goes back to fair practice, if you will, in economics. You know, um, if equities are too high, you lose buying power, right? Because you look at the housing market, it's the same thing. Like a $200,000 house is 400,000, and Gen Z can't even afford to buy a home and have it as an asset. It's the same thing. Equities all around, and you got yeah. Well, that's what we're dealing with. Melody Wright, she was on Macro Edge for a minute. They had a call. It was actually they had a few analysts from BlackRock. Just so you know, Blackstone sold last year all their private properties, and according to the research, what they're looking at, like the California market, Florida, and whatnot, a lot of these people are buying and flipping houses and trading homes based off their stock portfolios, right? So, where else are they going to come up with their $50,000 to I don't know, like $100,000 fee and down payment and all this stuff? That a lot of people tap their portfolios, and or they tap their equities and whatever they have to do it. And a lot of them, yeah, a lot of what's kind of keeping some of that market alive, obviously, is people in their inflated equities. Um, it's not what people want to hear, and I'm not the mastermind of that. I definitely want to thank Melody Wright and that research firm for doing that. But they're onto something, and inventory has proven. I'm not saying it's going to be a housing crash, but spring could get ugly. And the other thing is everyone's calling for a crash, like the bears, and I don't think that's going to be the case. Bessent came out and directly said it, the Treasury Secretary, and they said they're going to try to deflate the market. There's controlled selling, and we've seen that. Um, and that's unlike before where you could just buy stocks and it would go up. Now you're starting to see where um, there's not some kind of intervention anymore, right? So um, a lot of these ultimately, like, but what Bessent said too was we want to save the bonds.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll probably let stocks, drop a little bit more to save the bonds. And I know that's an old argument. I know the guy Ed, whatever his name, has been screaming, like Bubble Boy or like Chicken Little for 2 years about it. But it is true. They'll sell equities to save bonds, and you know, in the long run, I think they're just trying to curb the situation with the deficit, and kind of go to that narrative from Wall Street to Main Street. And then once we kind of get when things level out, at that point we have a healthy market that they can see, it will kind of even out. Goldman Sachs, you know, A lot of people, who are really in a political camp would take this as, oh, okay, Goldman's woke and all that, and I get that. But they did release a statement today, and that was they were saying, the bull run, Trump's bull run isn't going to happen or something. That's a nice spin on the words. I think what they really mean is exactly that. Was, hey, the market's going to deflate. It's not going to, it's not going to fly right now. Things are going to have to cool off. Um, and UBS put it a little bit better. Like they're all kind of on the bull side. They said, all right, well, we're going to see a lot of turbulence, and then we'll see the S&P start to really recover.
Right.
But we never know, because in the meantime, that's on a macro view. If we go into the micros,
Yep.
we have VIX expiration tomorrow. That could actually cause a squeeze
Yep.
because of all the short expiries. But also we have FOMC, which is very important, the Fed meeting.
Right.
Um, and additionally, we have the S&P 500 that's going to be rebalanced on Friday. And a lot of people just don't realize, or they might forget how powerful these institutions are. Like BlackRock, on those, when the market was selling, they were actually doing buybacks for themselves. Now, I don't think they're bullish. Actually, I think they're probably taking a counter position or something like that. Or, but
Yeah, well,
you have to be
you're
aware of
thinking
that stuff.
they're
Also, they
taking.
were buying into MicroStrategy, so they were at 5%, and I think they've increased it to about 7 or 10%. And people are like, okay, that's bullish for Bitcoin. No, might not be, because you really understand the construct of MicroStrategy. Basically, what Michael Saylor did was take a lot of debt, convertible debt, bought a bunch of Bitcoin, and then got a bunch of people to buy his ETF,
Right.
or buy into strategy. And the the power of it, though, is just like the game you play. When like Bitcoin goes down and whatnot, they can trade it down. They have positions that make money while it goes down.
Right.
And you've probably seen, like, sometimes Bitcoin drops and then Master pops for like MSTR pops for a couple minutes, and then it goes down with Bitcoin. It's very heavily correlated, but you can see that action. But it's almost like its own hedging machine on Bitcoin. And I think that might be another reason why, BlackRock took interest into it. And a lot of people that were talking about, oh, that bear got squeezed. I was like, well, I talked to Sam about that one, because he's been on the street for a while, and he was like, no, people are looking at order flow, and you don't realize how much money these guys have. Like, they're actually buying Bitcoin. I can't remember. It was like some crazy number, like it's in the 11s or something like that. But since December, 28% of that movement in Bitcoin was MicroStrategy. But they were buying Bitcoin, but they're also probably taking a short position. And that everybody's all just being cougars about the short got squeezed. That probably was somebody on both sides of it, and I bet you that was Michael Saylor, because the filings just came out today that they were doing it Sunday
Right.
even. Um, so you can imagine, with all that movement and the JPM callers expiring, the end of month buyers just to cover positions. The same thing in the bear market. Like, we had that one run up and everybody was like, it's over. It's not. It was because MSCI rebalanced their holdings on the index there. And then it went right back down.
Right.
But, a lot of people just don't understand that, don't pay attention to it, which you can and you should pay attention to it. But I think that's the type of market we have. And, obviously, a lot of them kind of know what's going on. The government or the new administration's kind of set the tone, like, hey, you need to
Someone
we need to
said,
deflate the bubble.
Someone said Bitcoin
and
is
we're
going
going to do it
down.
in a controlled manner. And you know, a lot of this, a lot of this stuff is going to show up, and people need to kind of take heed of it. And yeah, I think that's the best way I can describe it. And you can just see it in the premiums, and the premiums will tell you a lot. Um, you know, and
Oh, she wants
you're
me to
seeing
go
that
down.
same thing with futures. It's just going crazy, especially at night, and especially on certain hours with the Asians
Now,
and the Europeans.
can
And
you,
you look at China stocks today fly
yeah.
because of the intervention.
As far as
And that's what you're seeing, a carry trade action, deflation, save the bonds type of
crypto, where do you
deal.
think that's
And
gonna
they're
go?
trying to force a lot of that money home that's in equities. Um, so that's the best way I can describe it. I don't know if you want to go into technicals.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, am I still in line with you?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Give me 1 second. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh my gosh. Hold on, guys. This is all right. Can you hear me now? Hello. Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. This is let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. We're having some issues here. I don't know what's going on. Okay, he said 1 minute. All right. I honestly, I really don't know what's going on. I as far as I think, as far as technicals, um, okay, 1 minute. All right. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me fix this real quick. Something's going on here, and I just can't figure out why it's doing that. Why? Okay, I see. I see. Oh, he got off. Oh, did I mute myself on here? Hello. Oh yeah, I did. I think I did. Send invite again. Okay, give me 1 second. Invite. Okay. Let me. Why is it doing that? Hello. Okay, I can. Okay. Start sharing chat. Okay. What is it doing? Invite guest. Okay. All right. Yeah. So yeah, he can hear me. All right. So as far as technicals goes, guys, I honestly, from what I've seen, hold on, especially in the futures market, just looking at QQQ and let's see, looking at the 4 hour chart on QQQ and the daily and the weekly, we still have some room to the downside. I can see this. I can see this going all the way down to 416.91. Um, and that's what I see in the at the longer term. That's what I see on the monthly. We do have a wick all the way down to that area, and I do believe that we can reach to that area. Um, we just really need to see what goes on the weekly, whether the stochastics will cross over or not. Let's see. Hold on, are you on? Okay, yeah, he's on. I'm just. Give me 1 second, guys. I think there's something going on here. I already sent him an invite. What's going on? Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm having issues over here. Let's see. All right, just texted him. Let's see if he can hop on real quick. But yeah, guys, as far as what's going on right now and what's happening, he said, okay, I left everything just now. Wait, we'll wait for invite. Okay, I left everything just in chat. We'll wait for invite. I already sent it. Uh, the host or another mod has just performed this action. Give me 1 second, guys. I already sent it. Already sent. All right, guys. Let me see. Man, what is going on? Awaiting response. Mic is on. Video is off. Why is video off? Okay. Anyways, guys. Yeah. As far as futures is going and whatever the market is doing right now. I see that. Like I said, I see this. I see this market going down on just looking at the monthly right now. What I'm seeing, I'm seeing 418.85. I'm seeing 445.80 and 414.93. Waiting for host. Okay, let's see. Why is it? Sorry about that, brother. If you're watching right now, I'm just gonna end this. Let me see if I can. I'll try to see if I can redo this. I'm gonna end this call right here, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna send you an invite right now. All right, I just sent the invite. I mean, there's no way that I can. I mean, it says waiting for a host, but I just don't know. There's no button on here that tells me, to actually accept it, which I honestly don't know how to do that because all I do is send the invite and then you just hop on. Guest screen share. Yeah, it says start viewer call-ins. Is that what it is? Okay, there he is. He's getting ready. Let's go. All right. Are you in? Hold on, give me 1 second, brother. Give me 1 second. Let me I should be able to hear you. All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? What is going on with this? All right, can you hear me now? Give me 1 second, brother. Just wait right there. Do not go anywhere. I can see your voice thing moving, but I just can't hear you. I don't know why. Just give me 1 second. Let me try to figure this out real quick. Audio output. I think the output would be. All right.
All right.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Awesome. Can you hear me?
Perfect. Yeah, yeah,
All right. Sorry about
yeah.
that. I honestly I don't know what's going on with with all this, man. I have too much stuff opened up, but as I was saying, with as far as technicals go, and I'm just gonna go and at a higher time frame because the way that it's going the way that it's going right now, as we're coming down on this correction and whatnot. I from what I can tell right now is I see levels at for the QQQ. I see levels at 445.67 all the way down to 422.37 and possibly 405. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to go down there, but that's what from what I'm seeing, um that's what I see off these technicals. Um I know these moves are aggressive these past couple of months. Um I'm not saying that, I'm not saying it is going to go down there, but those are key levels that I am watching as of right now, just as a reference for futures, because in futures all I'm doing, I'm not a swing trader, so all I'm doing is scalping. I'm just getting in and getting out.
Yeah, you're that's yeah, that's how you win. You can't be a swing trader right now. You get destroyed.
And
The market we
especially, yeah,
have.
you can't be. You have to have a lot of money in order to be a swing trader. Really, I mean,
Well, it's
yeah.
you saw what happened, like Citadel, even right? They're getting blown apart. I've seen their accounts. Heck, some of the desks I was working at, they're like no one's making money. They've turned their algos on, into like real quick shots. It's nothing like that. Um, Literally to 6 minutes. And the algos are still +6, -6. I'll just so you know, I'll be up in New York City, in Financial District on the April 3rd through the 6th. So I'll get more intel for you on that. But yeah, I mean, they even published a Wall Street Journal article about that. You know, swing traders aren't, unless you're super hedged, they're not, the naked sides aren't really making money. Um, and they're getting ready for downside, like the downswings, like shorts, the contracts on the put side. Yeah, those guys are making money, but it's very decisive, and they're trying to get through the turbulence of the callers expiring and the rebalances right now, um, before they really do that. Um, hey, real quick, are you on Nasdaq? I see you got some futures open there. Is that QQQ Nasdaq? What's that? Test? Hello?
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry about that, brother. Um, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Are you trading Nas? What are you trading?
I'm trading M and Qs right now. The 190 you
Ooh,
see up,
perfect. Let me
yeah, the
go ahead.
190s that you see up there, on the right hand side or on the right top corner, that's my Express account for Top Step, and the other one, the 5903, that's my actual real account. So I am very, very careful with that one. Um,
Let
that's
me see. Let me see if the let me look up something for you. Um, the carry trade, right? So we had the bonds explosively high. So let's go look up Japan. Let's go see what's going on with the Nikkei. Um, and let's see if we can find that correlation to Nasdaq. Hang on. Yeah, Nikkei's already up a little bit. Nikkei's already up. So I want you to see something, and you'll love this. You'll absolutely love it. The correlation isn't always there, but when it's there, it works. You know.
Right.
Um, so if you look up the N225 or the Nikkei 225, you know, let's see, we should be open here. Okay, let's get some movement on that. I just want to make sure I get that placed in front of me. Um, but yeah, if you can spot it, you'll be able to see where it moves on these carry trades. It will move up, and the Nasdaq will move down.
And well,
So your
what'd you say?
NQs,
What'd you say that was on?
uh, I don't know what broker you're using.
I'm
Obviously,
using
like I use Schwab and
I'm using NinjaTrader, or for futures.
Ninja should have it. Look up Nikkei 225. Are you subscribed to? Are you on a prop firm or are you on your own account?
I'm in my own account, but there is
What data do you have?
if I don't have the data for that I have to have data to I have to buy the data in order to be able to see those that you know that chart. So
Yeah,
I can't even see I can't even on a NinjaTrader account I can't even see Tesla or any kind of those equities at all or stocks.
yeah. You gotta pay New York Stock Exchange for stocks, and you gotta pay like that, for the data like CME.
Yep.
CME is probably some of the strongest data, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. And I don't know if you've taken any of those certifications, as a trader with them. Um, I love their certifications. I know Dave has, like the risk management certifications and all, CME group. It's great
Right.
uh,
Well, as far as
to be
right
a
now
certified guy.
going, I'm working on my Series 3. I gotta get
Okay.
I gotta get that stuff rolling. You know, and that way I can see if I can register with the NFA, and then I'll just go from there.
All right. Let's see. Let me see. Japan time, because you can always pull up for anybody who's watching. There's something out there. I mean, it, you have like the forex clock or whatnot, right? But I love it because you can see what time all the exchanges are open. Obviously, it's 9:55 in the morning in Tokyo, right? So the Nikkei is open. So let's take a look at the Nikkei action right now. Let me guess. Just on a Google search, MNQ Nasdaq is down, right?
Right.
Probably down, right?
Yep.
And the reason why I'm guessing that without looking at the chart is for one reason: the carry trade and the Nikkei 225 being up, and it's at 37.8 where it was at like 37.6 previously. And that's the times I do trade futures on the night, which is very seldom, but when I was managing with Dee's account, um, you know, boom, and she's a heck of a futures trader. But yeah, that's when we were catching that correlation because we know the Bank of Japan, we know the Asian stocks, and we know all that exposure on the Tokyo Stock Exchange, how they're going to sell U.S. equities, and even like the Singaporeans are, um, you know, so you can almost guarantee that if the Nikkei 225 is up and you find that correlation, Nasdaq will go down.
Mhm.
So on the 5 minute, the 1 to 5 minute, you see a pop in Nikkei, you're going to see a drop on the Nasdaq.
Mhm.
If you see a violent run on Nikkei 225, you'll see a violent drop on Nasdaq futures. Uh, if the transaction was involved in the carry trade between the two. Now, if they weren't, sometimes they can go in tandem and up, but that's just a rule of thumb, and that's been a rule of thumb on like 3 desks I've worked accounts on. So if you want to do a Google search and take a look at it and see if you can spot that price action, it might help you.
Yeah, yeah. Give me 1 second. My brother just texted me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also one thing to consider is, I know you're texting him, but
Yeah.
obviously the involvement with Singapore, Nvidia, and Nvidia, as we know, leads the Nasdaq. And there's the H200's factory was in Mexico, and the tariffs were tearing that up. So, additionally, China and Singapore's mess. Their non-oil exports were pretty rough. Um, so, things like that to pay attention to.
Let's see.
Because you don't want to just get stuck in like industry world. You want to know what leads these indexes.
Right.
Obviously, it's the stocks that carry them, and yeah, that tells you right there that hey, Nikkei's up. I bet you the Nasdaq's going to drop, and if Nikkei starts to sell a little bit, see Nasdaq pop, based solely off the carry trade,
Right.
and it is ongoing.
But yeah, hey brother,
And if
hey.
you think that JP Morgan's not involved, yes, they are. They're even involved in European silver and everything else. So Swiss National Bank holds U.S. stocks. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry,
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to cut this short, man. I'm gonna have to go hit the gym real quick. Um,
dude. Yes, go get it.
whenever you're available and you're free, man, and you're more than welcome to hop on here and talk about what's going around the world, and um, I know that.
Absolutely. I want anybody else to take a look at it as well, right? You know those correlations. It's not just your Scientology, your I don't know, gypsy horoscopes. Aren't the reason why the market goes up in these
Right,
dick and balls charts. It's you got to know what you're trading. You got to know what you own. Quoting Peter Lynch. That's what George taught me a long time ago. So
right.
if not, you're gone. You're fired.
Yeah.
But all right, man. Um, love talking with you. This is great. We'll catch up again.
All right, brother. All right, man. Until
And
next time.
if
Um,
all
yeah.
right,
I'll give you on this on a side note whenever um I'll start giving you some more updates on my track record. That way, uh, you know, I just last
you're
month
doing better than most people.
I made $13,000 last month. Um,
I know about like 12 people that were just holding stocks in it. They're down like fucking 50K to
mhm.
100. And there's firms. Pat yourself on the back because Millennium lost 900 million, right? And look at you. So now, granted, they have a trade desk that's making money every day, just like you,
Mhm.
But it's I just want you to be proud of yourself. You did a good job. Don't lose it. Um, if you're on TikTok, give me a shout out for Interceptor News at Interceptor News. I'm trying to get that thing going. It'd be nice if I could do some service for some people there.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. If if y'all could hear, guys, just go over to Interceptor. Is it just Interceptor or Interceptor News?
It's at Interceptor News.
At
Uh,
Interceptor News,
it's
guys. Go follow this good
yeah.
information, guys. It's up to date news. Um, if you want to add anything, uh, if you want to add
Yeah,
anything
well,
on it.
that's it. I mean, you know me, I'm on the squawk, and we're making money off the news, economics, and what's fair value on the premiums. And obviously, the news does. I mean, when you get news today, like Google is going to merge with Reddit, what happens to the stock? I mean, why? Because they're partnering with them. Okay, so stock runs all the way up to 140. Uh, like what happens to when tariffs come out, right? And you got reciprocal tariffs coming on, so things like that. So I, any way you cut it, if you're not paying attention to the real world earnings, P&E, all that stuff, not watching the news. I mean, you might as well quit. You're going to get liquidated. I guarantee that.
Right.
So, uh, well, I appreciate you, man, and thank you.
Yep, no problem, brother. Till next time, whenever you're free, man, just let me know and I'll hop on.
Yeah, I'll get some good information while I'm in New York, and definitely we're working. We got something in the works, and we're gonna get this thing built. So it's gonna take a while though.
Alrighty, sounds good, man.
All right.